And now we do have some news. So go on then, Dan. Let's have some news. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yes, it's a quiet one on the Paizoverse front in terms of news, which is fine. They announced a bunch of books in the last few weeks, so it's sort of natural this is a bit of a quieter one. There's more stuff coming from WizKids, which I thought was worth highlighting. WizKids make the Pathfinder Battles and Starfinder Battles series of minis. So they're like pre-painted miniatures, and there is a game associated with it, of which I know very little. They did a bunch of Pathfinder ones a little while ago that we talked about. They have just announced that they're bringing out a range of Starfinder ones, which I think is quite exciting because, like, you can get fantasy miniatures from anywhere. And Pathfinder, they have a few original things, but a lot of what is coming out is stuff that, you know, you'll be able to find an ogre mini somewhere else if you want to get it that way. So there's a bit more options of that. Starfinder is a bit more unique. And the thing they're doing, which is exciting, I think, is they're bringing out some ship minis. So they're bringing out some like painted high quality minis of some of the starships that you can get in Starfinder. So when you want to set up your battle map and things like that, you can actually have some nice models for it rather than just tokens. And that's something that is quite exciting to me because we went to PaizoCon UK. Oh God, I want to say last year, but it wasn't. It was the year before last. It was 2019, missing year. But we went there and we played a bit of Starfinder and we played some Starship combats. And the ones where the GM had actually got minis for the Starships, albeit ones from other games or things like that, they were just great. It just looks good having all the minis on the battlefield rather than just sort of cardboard tokens. So if you're into your Starfinder, into that, have a look for those ships. I think you will find it might save you a bit of time, might give you some nice ships to use in your combats there.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. Our very own Paul, Tea Party Fox, says ship minis sound good. Everyone loves that kind of stuff. I remember, what was the Star Wars sort of tabletop fleets you could fight? You could buy like Luke Skywalker's X-Wing and...
X-Wing, yeah. X-Wing is incredibly popular, or was. Yeah. It might not be anymore, but it was like the tournament play game that you did. I have mates who went to European championships on it. It was one of these things like Magic, and Armada as well, which I always thought Armada sounded more interesting, but I confess I haven't played either of them. I played a lot of Gothic back in the day. Warhammer Gothic.
Really?
Great game.
Yeah, if ever you want to take a trip down memory lane, that was on sale on Steam recently, the computer port. I know we spoke about some computer ports, but generally Warhammer have been, or sort of the Games Workshop have been smashing out the park. I've got a little bit of news about that as well. My own little bit of news, but I love those minis. I confess I never played the Star Wars ones either, but goddamn, I was really tempted. I mean, who doesn't want to pilot sort of Star Destroyers and stuff like that? Really, really cool.
Okay. On February the 11th, there is a Kickstarter starting. You may have heard of the One Ring RPG. The first edition came out in 2011. And then in 2019, the company that was working, Cubicle 7, was working with the license holders, Sophisticated Games, announced that they were going to do a second edition. Then, because of contractual differences, apparently, it fell through. But it has now been picked up by Free League, the guys who have done Tales from the Loop, Alien RPG, and Forbidden Lands. Ooh. And they are releasing it on Kickstarter on February the 11th, a new second edition. It's going to be set a bit of time after the first edition was. There's going to be some new things, new vision basically for it. The rules are going to be streamlined, is what the author said. They're not going to be totally different, and you can port your characters over from One Ring first edition to the second edition. And it's also later on as well, they're going to release a 5e compatible spin-off as well. I know they have the 5e Adventures of Middle-earth, I think, in Middle-earth, but I think they're doing a compatible one for the One Ring RPG that's coming out. So yeah, that should be funny. That should be fun. If you're a fan of the sort of Middle-earth world, then give it a a backing on Kickstarter. It should be quite good.
I'm
They
sure.
I think it's a D12 system, and then you use success dice to like pass certain things.
I
It's
think.
not, yeah, which is it does sound cool.
Yeah, and I think certainly with the popularity of that franchise, it's going to get a lot of backers. Ross, are you particularly excited about this? Because you recently very kindly ran the Alien RPG for us, and I thought it was pretty good. What are you excited about how they're going to handle this franchise?
Yeah, I think so. I think Free League always have a good rep on the releases they've done. I've backed one that was on recently, which is a World War, like it's a war one, but it's set in an alternate reality, which is quite good. Like a shooter, like it's not like a war as in fancy. It's all like guns and things. And this one I like that, and Tales from the Loop as well is really cool. It's like a mixture of Stranger Things mixed with like sci-fi and future, like an alternate future. So the stuff that they sort of produce with in their company is good. So I think I will give it a look. I'm very excited for it. It should be quite fun. In the first adventure, I think they're going to set it around Moria. So the mines of Moria.
Not the mines of Moria.
Salted Park.
Is there any idea about the when it's set? Is it pre-Fellowship? Is it back in the good old days when the mines of Moria were actually the mines of Moria? Or
I think it is set before Lord of the Rings, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I should have delved a bit deeper in terms of when the original one was.
Yeah, no, I apologise. That wasn't meant to be a curveball. I would imagine it probably would be, because it'd be quite fun to role play in the kind of, because obviously in the books he goes to great lengths to describe the good old days about, when men and elves and dwarves were all friends and stuff like that. It'd be quite fun to maybe go back to those kind of times and explore it. That would be pretty cool. Hello to all the Dangerlings who've joined us. Thanks for lovely to see you all active in the chat, and lovely to see you again here on this Wednesday. Lots of love coming for my future calendar, apparently, which is coming out, and it will possibly feature Ross. Maybe we could do a sexy DCP calendar. Who knows? Now, my piece of news is very, very quick. I thought I'd just chip in. Unless you've been living under a rock, you will have seen that the third installment of the Warhammer Total War series of games, which have been very popular, is coming out. You can check out the cinematic trailer, which has been released. It's focusing on Chaos, and also on the Russian faction, which I've completely forgotten their name, and also on the faction that's based on the sort of the Far East, who don't actually have a standing army published as yet. So it is pretty much in the hands of the game developers how they want to do that. But it looks really exciting. It's a really good trailer, and I know it's a very, very popular series of games. And I think the coolest thing is that if you own all three games, you will be able to play a giant, grand campaign involving each of those games, having a vast map. You can do that with 1 and 2 right now, and apparently they're going to extend that with 3. So, I mean, I don't think... Good. Yeah, I just don't think there's anything that's come close to that kind of scale in terms of a Total War game and the things. But they are quite expensive on Steam. But stick them on your wish list, and pick up the first ones if you're interested. They'll
come out as a bundle, won't they? Like when the third one comes out.
They probably will. But they're great fun, and I was certainly very excited to see a mashup of two of my favourite games from my childhood, both Warhammer and Total War, and they do not disappoint. So Dan, I believe you've got another piece of news. Kislev and thank you. Yes, Kislev and Cathay. Thank you very much, Chris.
Kislev and Cathay. Old school stuff. Nice.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I say so. It was old school when I was playing it. It's probably the new expansion now. This is just me showing my age.
Well, no, to be honest, you're quite right. I mean, Kislev and they and Cathay, they are old school because people are harking back, like Kislev are the Russian faction, so they ride bears and it's all very hussars. But they've really been very quiet, and now they're kind of bringing them back, dusting them off, and sticking them in their own games. So it's going to be really, really exciting. Looking forward to that.
Everything that is old is new again. That's how culture works, isn't it?
Oh yes.
I just as the last bit, I kind of wanted to shout out a couple of things that are happening on the network. I think we should mention this in general. Obviously, we got a load of that stuff on YouTube. The edited version of the interview with Luis and Eleanor just went up while we were live here, so don't turn off now. But if you missed it last week, go on YouTube. You can watch it there. It's just edited down to be a bit more succinct. Obviously, if you're a patron, you've already got the audio on it, which took me ages to edit because I wasn't wearing my headphones, and it all got messed up through getting picked up through microphones and things like that. Colin laughed at me. It was hilarious. I was up till 1 a.m. Other fun stuff. Danger Recall this week is another really good one. We're talking about Carpe Diem, that episode 21, where we jump the shark and seize the day, and all of those other things. The one time I told you guys you could do anything you like, and you ran with that ball until I nearly cried. So we're talking about that one. It's a really fun one. That's on Patreon. And in terms of the main show, we had a fun episode this week. Involved a choose an NPC character. A really fun episode, classic kind of episode. Next week's episode is another really good one. We're all really proud of Monday's episode. I think it's going to be a really good one. And we're back in the studio. We're back online recording some more tomorrow morning to go, and after that, and I've been planning those all day, and I'm excited about them. Those of you who want sort of pre-made content, who want us to get to sort of some of the pre-written content we talked about, you'll be pleased to know the slithering is now permanently resident on my desk, because we are rapidly getting into that kind of content. So that's all coming. So there's lots of fun stuff. If you're behind on the main show, have a binge, get caught up, because there's some really good stuff coming up.
Yeah, definitely. And a last piece of news. There are, I forget which tier it is. It's Velda.
Velda's Mage Armor,
Velda's
the £25 tier for Patreon.
That is it, yes. Those T-shirts, the first round of T-shirts you are entitled to, they have been shipped. So those of you who are lucky enough to have those should find them hitting your doorstep very soon, which is exciting.
Yes!
And now I think that's enough news. We should move on.
One more piece.
Oh, no, wait, Ross, and he's even put his leg down. He's adopted this is serious news. All right, so
it's hacker news. Hacker news. CD Projekt Red are going from worse to worse. They've been hacked by somebody,
no.
And the attackers have put encrypted. They've hacked them, and they've said you must pay a ransom, or the code from your games like Cyberpunk and an unreleased version of The Witcher 3 will be revealed to the public. The attackers have also dumped or threatened to dump documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. And I'm going to read you what it said, and in my hacker voice. Hello, CD Projekt. This is in the spelling as well.
Okay.
Your have been epically pwned. We have dumped full copies from of your source codes from your perforce server for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and an unreleased version of The Witcher 3. We also have dumped all your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you most likely recovered from backups. If you will not come to an agreement, then your source codes will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in game journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter. Even more people will see how shitty your company functions. Investors will lose trust in your company, and the stocks will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us.
Oh no. Imagine all the people queuing up to buy that famously excellent code from Cyberpunk.
Yeah, exactly. And I want those HR records. That's what I want. I mean, this sounds a bit like an insider disgruntled ex-employee, to be honest, because it's
apparently
quite
it's an actor. I don't know. It says an actor, but they've said that they're not going.
It's Ross Harmston.
Yeah.
You think your Wednesday scoop? It was actually Ross.
They said that they're not going to bow down to them. They've also said that they are not 100% sure, that they're hopeful that it hasn't released. They haven't gained access to anybody's personal information who has been in the game, like obviously for Cyberpunk and Witcher and Gwent. So any of the like players' personal information has been leaked either.
Yes, I mean, Chris said in the chat that supposedly no player information was compromised. It does sound like it's targeted to rubbish the company and not actually, because of course, if they start releasing player information, that's a very quick way to turn the tables on anyone who thinks this is a good idea. I mean, I
They said to the best of our knowledge.
Right.
I mean, I trust their knowledge. They're so up on it.
Yeah.
It's easy to laugh, and it is. It's not. It shouldn't be funny that it's happened to them after the year they've had. But also, it's probably worth remembering that there are probably personnel files and things in there of people who have suffered enough trying to make this bloody game, and it's not good that could get leaked.
No.
So hopefully, this is largely a hoax. Oh, often these things are.
Yeah.
It's
Some people are saying that the Witcher 3 unreleased game is probably maybe a PS5 version of that they're going to re-release, but they don't know.
It's very difficult because it's one of these things that obviously they're disgruntled, they've got an axe to grind against CD Projekt Red, but even if it's not player information being released, this is going to harm a lot of people who literally have nothing and have done nothing wrong, except possibly, as Dan said, toil under a rather draconian regime at the company, which is quite common in the big high-end end of the gaming market anyway. So, it's certainly... It's not good news, really. I hope it's a hoax because they've got enough troubles as it is, and it's just a strange way to deal with something. I wonder what the axe is.
Anyway,
poor old CD Projekt Red. Goodness me, that they've had a tough year from the darlings of the gaming industry with Witcher, and they could do no wrong to this. So let's hope they get back on their feet soon.